The Man Who Shocked the World, The Mystery of Vail Lake. The calm before the storm. Welcome to our YouTube channel in the Unbelievable Stories niche, where we reveal the most mysterious and moving events that change the perception of the world. Today we will tell a story that shocked millions, about an ordinary man who one day went for a boat ride on Vail Lake in Montana, USA, and discovered something so incredible that the whole world froze in shock. This is a story of courage, secrets, lost history, and a miracle that forced humanity to rethink the past. Are you ready to dive into this emotional adventure? Then hold on tight, because this story will take you into a whirlpool of mysteries and revelations. Before the story starts, please write in the comments what country you are watching and listening to this story from. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, and like us so you don't miss new, interesting, exciting, incredible stories. Elijah Kane, a 42-year-old auto mechanic from Whitefish, Montana, was a simple, quiet man. With tousled brown hair, calloused hands, and thoughtful green eyes, he lived in a modest trailer on Vail Lake, surrounded by dense pine forests and snow-capped mountains. Elijah loved solitude. After divorcing his wife Sarah 5 years earlier, he had rarely interacted with people, preferring nature. His only solace was fishing in an old wooden boat he named Mary after his late mother. Vail Lake, deep and crystal clear, was Montana's gem, but locals avoided it because of old legends. It was said that its waters were inhabited by the spirits of the Kootenai tribe, who guarded sacred secrets. A skeptic by nature, Elijah laughed at these stories. "It's just water and fish," he said as he loaded his rods. But on July 15, 2023, a hot summer day, his life changed forever. That morning, Elijah set out on the Mary to the middle of the lake, where, according to rumors, large trout were found. The sky was cloudless and the water was crystal clear. He was rowing slowly, enjoying the silence, when he suddenly noticed a strange shimmering under the water, about 10 meters from the boat. At first he thought it was the reflection of the sun, but the light pulsed as if it were alive, with a green-blue tint. Elijah leaned over the side, and his heart pounded. In the depths of the lake he could see some kind of structure, huge, geometrically correct, like a dome. "This can't be natural," he muttered, feeling goosebumps run down his spine. Elijah, despite his lack of education, was curious. He had read about sunken cities and archaeological finds, but Lake Vail, nothing like this had ever been mentioned here. He dropped anchor and dove in. Though the water was icy, at a depth of 5 meters he saw something that made him freeze. A massive stone structure covered with strange symbols that glowed with a faint glow. It was not just a dome. It was something that resembled a temple or tomb, with clear contours and arches. Elijah surfaced, gasping for air. His hands were shaking, but he knew he had to capture the find. He had an old waterproof phone he used to take pictures of fish. After snapping a few pictures and a short video, he swam back to shore, adrenaline pumping through his veins. His mind raced with thoughts: what is this? Who built this? Why didn't anyone know? In Whitefish, Elijah went to the local library, where his old friend, Linda Gray, a 60-year-old amateur historian, worked. When he showed her the blurry photos, he expected skeptical laughter, but Linda paled. "Elijah, these don't look like Kootenai artifacts," she said, flipping through books on Montana archaeology. "These symbols, they look like something older, pre-Columbian cultures maybe, but here, that's impossible." Linda advised contacting the University of Montana in Missoula, where Dr. Aaron Wells, a professor of archaeology, worked. Elijah, ashamed of his ignorance, hesitated, but Linda herself sent the photo to Wells. 2 days later, the professor arrived in Whitefish, his eyes wide open. "If this is not a fake, this could be the greatest discovery of the century," he said. Wells organized an expedition with divers, geologists, and historians, and asked Elijah to be a guide, since he was the only one who knew the exact location. The expedition began on July 25th. The divers descended to a depth of 15 meters and confirmed that this was not a natural formation. The structure, which was called the Temple of Vail, was a domed structure 30 meters in diameter, with stone walls covered with carvings. The symbols, spirals, stars, wavy lines, did not correspond to any known culture. The most amazing thing was the glow. The stones emitted a faint light, which, according to preliminary analyses, came from bioluminescent microorganisms unknown to science. Inside the dome, a hall was discovered with a round altar, on which lay a metal disc, similar to a map of the starry sky. News of the Vail Temple leaked to the press when a diver posted a video on social media. In a day, the video gained 50 million views, and the hashtag #VailTemple went viral. CNN, the BBC, and National Geographic sent reporters to Whitefish, turning the sleepy town into the center of attention. Theories multiplied. Some believed the temple was the remains of Atlantis, others, evidence of extraterrestrial contact. Local Kootenai protested, demanding respect for the sacred land, but their elders confirmed that they did not know about the structure. Elijah, who only wanted to go fishing in peace, became a celebrity. Reporters buzzed around his trailer, calling him a treasure hunter. He avoided cameras, but agreed to an interview with National Geographic, in which he told about diving without equipment. "I just wanted to understand what it was," he said, holding a photo of Mary. His modesty conquered the world. People sent letters, money, even a new boat, but Elijah gave everything to charity for the Kootenai. Meanwhile, scientists struggled with the mystery of the temple. Radiocarbon dating showed that the structure was at least 12,000 years old, making it older than the pyramids of Giza. The metal disc turned out to be an alloy with an unknown element that was resistant to corrosion. The image on the disc matched the positions of the stars of the Pleistocene epoch, which prompted speculation about the astronomical knowledge of the ancients. The bioluminescent organisms, called luminous villi, had no analogues on Earth, and their DNA indicated a unique evolution. The most shocking discovery was made in the center of the altar, a tiny stone box sealed with resin. Inside it lay a crystal that emitted weak electromagnetic pulses. When the crystal was connected to a spectrometer, it emitted a signal that resembled a coded message. NASA, interested in the find, joined the study, suggesting that it could be an artifact of extraterrestrial origin. The world froze. Had Elijah really found proof of the existence of another civilization? Fame brought Elijah not only recognition, but also problems. His trailer was robbed by treasure hunters, believing that he was hiding artifacts. Conspiracy theorists accused him of staging it, and the U.S. government imposed restrictions on access to the lake, which angered the locals. Elijah felt persecuted. He dreamed of returning to the Mary and forgetting about the fuss. "I'm not a hero, I just dived," he told Linda, who became his support. Vail Lake was surrounded by the military, and the temple was explored in secret. Elijah was removed from the expedition, which hurt him. He began to doubt whether it was worth diving, but one evening a Kootenai elder, May Belclow, came to him. She thanked him for the discovery, saying, "You woke the spirits, but they are not angry. They wanted to be found." May gave him an amulet with a symbol similar to those in the temple, and asked him to tell the world the truth. Elijah contacted Tom Harris, a journalist for the Missoula Times, whom he trusted. In an article for The Voice of Lake Vail, he spoke about his feelings, the temple, and the Kootenai whose lands needed protection. The article went viral, garnering millions of shares. People protested, demanding that the temple be opened to science and that native peoples be respected. Public pressure forced the government to ease restrictions, and Elijah was invited as a consultant. In January 2024, scientists deciphered the crystal's signal. It was not a message in the classical sense, but a series of pulses that corresponded to mathematical constants, such as the number pi and the golden ratio. Dr. Wells suggested that it was a greeting from a civilization that knew about the universal laws of the cosmos. NASA published a report admitting that the crystal could be evidence of extraterrestrial contact 12,000 years ago. The world exploded. Religious leaders argued, scientists rejoiced, and ordinary people looked at the stars with new awe. Elijah, however, saw more than science in the temple. For him, it was a reminder of the fragility of life. He used his fame to found the Vail Heritage Foundation, which funded archaeological research and education for the Kootenai. His trailer was replaced by a small house, but he kept merry by going out to the lake every week. "This is my home," he said, stroking his oars. Oliver, a 10-year-old boy from Whitefish, whom Elijah had rescued from the lake during a storm, another story that made him famous, became his Oliver dreamed of becoming an archaeologist, and Elijah taught him to love nature. Their friendship became a symbol of how the discovery of the temple brought people together. By the summer of 2025, the Vail Temple had become a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the lake a nature reserve. Scientists had discovered 3 smaller structures at the bottom, suggesting an entire submerged city. The crystal was transferred to a museum in Missoula, where it was visited by millions. The Kootenai were given the rights to part of the land, and their legends were included in school textbooks. Elijah turned down Hollywood offers to make a movie about him, but he agreed to a documentary project for National Geographic. In it, he told how the temple had changed him. "I thought my life was worthless, but maybe I'm here to find something more." His words became a motto for thousands searching for meaning. Sarah, his ex-wife, returned to Whitefish to congratulate him. They did not remarry, but they became friends, remembering how Elijah dreamed of being a hero. "You became one," she said, standing next to the Mary. Oliver gave him a drawing of a temple with the caption, "Thank you for showing us the stars." The story of Elijah, Kane, and the Vail Temple changed the world. It made humanity think about its past, about its connection to the cosmos, and about what is hidden in the depths. Elijah, an ordinary man with a boat, became a symbol of courage and curiosity. His discovery united scientists, indigenous peoples, and dreamers, proving that miracles are possible if you dare to dive. Today, Vail Lake shimmers under the stars, and the temple awaits new secrets. Elijah, sitting in the Mary, looks at the water and whispers, "Thank you for showing me the way." This incredible story is for everyone who believes that even the smallest step can change the universe. Subscribe to our channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and get ready for new adventures.